We became the first and only hero player inside of Diamond 1 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And this is the deck I used to do it. What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy Swolelax here, and I'm back at it again with another video. This time, something just a little bit different. Today, the season has changed from its initial Plat 1 top rank to Diamond 1 being the highest tier. Through many struggles and trials and tribulations throughout the season with Sword Soul and other ridiculous archetypes, heroes have had a struggle getting to the top rank, but we did so today. So we're going to take a moment today and go over some gameplay as well as the deck that I used to climb all the way from gold into Diamond 1. We went through a lot of different iterations with this deck profile, but I do think that this last one is probably the most consistent as well as the most powerful of all the hero decks that we've made so far. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like, and if you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing as we're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really hope that we can do so. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is huge. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and for anyone subscribing and watching the live streams. It's been a great journey so far. I think we're like so close to 3,000. It's insane. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay, and then afterwards we'll go into that deck profile and what I did to get into Diamond 1 with Hero this season. And on top of that, yeah, it's on top of that, it's just good. It's just a good card. It negates spells and traps, negates more things than just Call by the Grave. All right, so definitely a hand trap, definitely a, oh, okay. So here's the fun part, right? We definitely can go Forbidden Droplet, discard the Shadow Mist to get rid of the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, right? Search a card, let's say like a Stratos. Or we go Ferris, discard Shadow Mist, get Stratos in, try to bait out that back row. I think that's actually not a bad idea. Let's go for Ferris here. Let's discard the Shadow Mist. We can OTK him pretty much regardless here. And probably under 4 summons, just depending. Yeah, Trinity after outing every interruption. Yeah, it's actually like phenomenal. It's insane. We'll go for Shadow Mist here. Shadow Mist and the Ferris. Okay. Yeah, we're on it. That has to be like exactly what I think it's gonna be. It's called by. Actually, better than what I thought it was gonna be. I thought we were gonna have to use this Forbidden Droplet. Turns out, we don't. Not yet, at least. And he can even get rid of the Phoenix Enforcer, which is fine. So we'll go for the... We'll go for Ferris. I kind of want to go for Fusion Destiny. One card left in hand, it's got to be like really big. That's what she said. Vion can send some stuff. We kind of honestly need a search, which is pretty big here, to go into some 2s. But I'll go for Fusion Destiny here. I think Fusion Destiny is really good here. Missed The Office, like the show. Dystopia is also pretty good here. We can burn, get some damage, go for some stuff. I will be going for the Tried and True though, because I think that's probably a little bit better to go for Phoenix Enforcer. I feel like he has Nibiru. It's probably a pretty good read. Yeah, accidentally searched increase doing the fair discard misplay. Actually, yeah, not gonna lie, it is honestly pretty easy to do. Or pretty easy to get behind. I'll increase here. I'll tribute the Ferris. He pretty much has to destroy Phoenix Enforcer here, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If he destroys increase, we won't get the effect, which is okay with the Bion for the backup. If he destroys his Try to Avert Anaconda, then we can still pop his guy with our Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which is pretty good. So, okay. We'll go for our Vion. Vion effect activate. We will send to grave a... What do we want to send to grave? Probably a Plasma right? Yo, what's up, Dark Matter? How's it going? I've been playing pure Zephyra and I've beaten my friend Swords with Tenny deck 2-0. Ooh, that's sick. That's really sick, actually. Nice job. Zephyra is honestly, it has a lot of combos it can do and can do some crazy shenanigans. I'll send the Plasma. I think Plasma is probably good here. Yeah, I'll send Plasma. That's fine. We'll go for Vion here. We'll get rid of the... I don't want to get rid of the Ferris, but the Plasma I'll get rid of because I think I can get rid of it. And that's fine. Go for a Polymerization here. I honestly could probably go for a lot more. I'm going to go for a little bit of Greed, though. We'll go for Malicious. And Malicious, we're going to go onto the field. He definitely doesn't have Nibiru. He would have Nibiru probably already there. And we'll just go for some shenanigans. Vion and Malicious. I'm going to go for Cross Crusader. Pretty good. Cross Crusader effect, we're going to bring back the... Denier? We'll bring back Denier. We won't activate the effect of Denier here because we can bring it itself back, which is pretty great. But we will be using it for its search effect, which I think is honestly pretty baller. Go for this, adding our Adusted Gold to finish it out, or we can go for a fusion play with Liquid Soldier and draw 2 cards. Not too terrible there. I don't mind the fusion play, but I might want to save that for a crackback just in case we can't OTK him here. Very high chances, though. We'll go for Dusted Gold. And I feel like that's fine. Dusted Gold, grab Dark Calling. We will go for Dark Calling's effect. We're going to banish the Ferris summoning, and the Dusted Gold summoning our Malicious Bane out to the field. Can you guys believe that I cut and the easiest OTK with something else? All right, go for Malicious Bane here. Pretty good. And this is game right here, I believe. So yeah, it's over 6K. I think we're just gonna go for it here. So we're gonna go for 16. So you got some shenanigans with Battle Step. I don't think it has it. The Dark is calling me. True. Man, the Dark would be calling me. Except for... wait, hold on. Let me do that again. The Dark would be calling me, but it's a good thing that I had this sugar-free Red Bull to keep my spirits high and my mental game tough to get that victory. Thank you, Red Bull. It really does give Destroy Phoenix Enforcer wings. Woo. Going on to the card by card, we have 2 copies of Max C, 2 copies of Ash Blossom, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence for your hand trap lineup. I feel like Impermanence was probably the most impactful hand trap inside of this meta right now, and playing 3 copies is desperately needed. While playing 3 copies of Max C is also really powerful, and Ash Blossom is really powerful, I didn't want to overload on those cards, which I did see quite a bit often, and I felt like everyone was hitting those things with Call by the Grave and the Crossout Designator, which you do see they were playing 1 copy of. So, I mean, I think that they're really good, especially when you draw them, but Imperm was honestly the MVP and much more useful than either of those cards, which is crazy to say. Crazy to say. Next onto the hero lineups, we have 1 copy of Vision Hero Increase because I do and do not fear God, 1 copy of Destiny Hero Denier, a phenomenal extender to push past Nibiru and to go for more damage, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos, probably one of the best normal summons, along with 2 copies of Vision Hero Vion, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist as a Great Searcher and a Mask Change Turbo. Then we have 1 copy of Evil Hero Dusted Gold, our Evil Hero Engine. I did think about cutting the Evil Hero Engine as I did think it was a little bit bricky at times, but overall the exchange of power that it gave you and the board clears and the pushing for damage was just too good to really give up. On top of that, we have 1 copy of Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier for that draw 2 and fusion material, and 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. This is a big change from the last deck profile for heroes. I feel like Vision Hero Ferris is a really great extender for heroes, on top of the fact that it's one of the best starter cards that you could begin with because it puts your opponent in a really bad scenario where you don't quite use your normal summon to pop off and OTK. Then we have 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. This is pretty standard. 1 copy of Destiny Hero Plasma. You could cut this card, but I warn you that things like Scythe and Dagda are inside of the game, along with other problematic board states that you might need Plasma to out Plus, you can always use it with Fusion Destiny even if you don't necessarily need it right away. Then we have 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster for our spell and trap cards, 1 copy of Polymerization, 1 copy of Miracle Fusion. I also thought about cutting this engine out, but once again, the value was just too good. Speaking of value, we have 2 copies of A Hero Lives. You could play 3. I personally am playing 2 because I felt like 3 copies was just a little bit too bricky, as I would see this card in turn 3 or 4, and it wouldn't be as good. Then we have 1 copy of Dark Colin for our Evil Hero engine, 2 copies of Fusion Destiny for obvious reasons, 2 copies of Lightning Storm for that monster and spell and trap removal. Really, those big board clears really do help heroes break apart in OTK if going second. Then we have 3 copies of Mask Change for going into Dark Law or sometimes going into Acid, or there's also the Wind one, which I forget the name of, Blast, there we go. 2 copies of Called by the Grave and 1 copy of Crossout Designator. Here's a thought. Call of the Grave is really good, but honestly, Crossout Designator, every single time I saw this card, was almost even better. You can hit cards like Fusion Destiny, like Infinite Impermanence, along with the hand traps like Maxi and Ash Blossom. This card is honestly sometimes better than Call by the Grave, but Call by the Grave is just so powerful in itself because it doesn't really cost you anything, while this card does require you to play the cards inside of your main deck. So do keep that in mind, but Crossout is pretty nutty, especially in a format where everyone's playing the exact same cards. Then we have 2 copies of Forbidden Droplets to kind of round out our spell and trap cards. You do desperately need this card instead of Heroes sometimes because you kind of want to discard things like Emerald Seer, Shadow Mist, or also Malicious to kind of get your combos going, while also helping to break apart your opponent's board going second. And then, like I said earlier, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, probably the most impactful hand trap at the given moment. Moving on, we have 2 copies of Master Hero Darklaw. This card wins games on its own. It is an incredibly powerful boss monster for the hero deck, and 2 copies is almost necessary because this card is definitely going to be a target for any type of negation and any type of removal. Then we have 1 copy of Master Hero Blast. Not necessary, but sometimes it is pretty good to allow your Stratos to go off from Infinite Impermanence, or even sometimes some stuff like Forbidden Droplets. Then we have 1 copy of Destiny Hero Dangerous. I thought about cutting this card as well, but it is pretty good, especially when stuff like Fusion Destiny is your only starter in your hand. 1 copy of Emerald Seer Sunrise for that Miracle Fusion engine, very powerful card for spot removal as well, and to kind of push for a little more damage when you don't necessarily have a super optimal board. 1 copy of Absolute Zero is absolutely insane. 1 copy of Acid to help clear boards and to pair well with things like Absolute Zero. 1 copy of Escuriado instead of Adoration. Now, I go back and forth between Escuriado being good and Adoration being good, but I honestly feel like at certain points and at most times they are interchangeable. The only difference is that you can use this card with Miracle Fusion, and while the Adoration you cannot. So do keep that in mind, but this card is still, it's pretty strong. 1 copy of Destiny Hero Dystopia, just in case. You probably will be going into things like Dangerous more, but Dystopia does sometimes still come up, and it is a very viable option as a secondary Fusion Destiny target. Then we have 1 copy of Evil Hero Malicious Bane, and also the MVP of the new hero deck, that is Destiny Hero Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer, your primary Fusion Destiny target that this deck can make natively with Polymerization. In addition to having a crazy board presence to play through Nibiru, to have something in the back tank, Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer really does help Hero, along with every other deck in the format, with being just such a good card. Then we have 1 copy of Extra Hero Wonder Driver, 2 copies of Crossout Crusader, and finally 1 copy of Predaplant Vertex Anaconda before it gets banned, obviously. 2 turbo out things like Destroy, Phoenix, Enforcer. It is probably the best backup plan that heroes have, and because you can play it inside this deck because you're playing Fusion Destiny natively, this is a phenomenal list for anyone that's wanting to play heroes inside of the top levels for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now, it's not always intuitive how to play heroes and what situations you will or will not get yourself into, and for my money personally, I think you probably want to go second with this build. I think it's a lot better at breaking apart boards, at weakening board states, but then again, this deck is also pretty good at going first because it's a hero deck. You can set up things like Dark Law, like Sunrise, like DPE, and Plasma. So don't worry too much about going first or second. This deck can perform very well at both. So do keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to answer anything about this deck or about heroes in general. But let me know what you guys think of this deck list inside the comment section down below. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like. And if you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers. We're very, very close. So thank you to everyone that's supported the video so far and has been here for this amazing hero journey into Diamond 1. Thank you guys so much, and I think that's all I gotta say about this. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.